So in this, the second tutorial video on how to use the RDP, we're going to look at the surface interval mode. So let's bring up an example question to use. So if we're planning to make two dives, the first a dive to 60 feet for 53 minutes, followed by a dive to 50 feet for 71 minutes, what is the minimum surface interval you would have to take between these two dives? So as with all RDP questions, I like to draw a diagram, a dive planning sketch as it were, to answer the question. So there I have my two dives illustrated. I can then enter the information given to me in the question, the depths of the two dives and the times of the two dives. The other information that always goes in is the surface interval, the pressure group at the end of the first dive, the pressure group at the end of the surface interval, and the pressure group at the end of the second dive. Always use this standard chart when doing questions involving two dives. We can now enter the numbers from the question. The depth of the first dive is 60 feet, and the time we are planning on spending there, 53 minutes. We don't have the surface interval, that is the question, but we do have the depth of the second dive, which we can enter in, and we have the time of the second dive, which we can enter in. We now basically have all the information that the question supplies us with, so we can get out our ERDPml and start using it. So turn it on, turn off the sound, mode. What mode am I going to go in? Well, I've been showing you dive planning. I showed you how to use that mode in the first tutorial video. This tutorial video is aimed at showing you how to use the surface interval mode. So I'm going to click there and press enter. It's now asking me if I'm going to be starting with the first dive of the day. There's no mention of any previous dives in the question, so I can safely assume that yes, I am starting with the first dive of the day. Once I've clicked on yes, it asks me for the depth of the first dive. The depth of the first dive, I can see right here, is 60 feet, so I can enter that. What it's telling me now is if I want to dive to 60 feet, the no decompression limit would be 55 minutes. That's the maximum amount of time I could spend at 60 feet. Useful information when planning, but we already know how long we want to spend. It's given to us in the question. It's 53 minutes. So to move on, I can press the enter button when it will now ask me what is my actual planned bottom time. ABT1 stands for actual bottom time dive 1. So I will enter in the 53 minutes, and it's going to warn me that I would need to do a safety stop on this dive of 3 minutes. So I don't need to worry about that to answer the question. I can click enter, and now it will ask me for the depth of the second dive, which is 50 feet, and the adjusted no decompression limit, the maximum time I could spend at 50 feet, based on the fact it's a repetitive dive, would be 73 minutes. Now, the question's told me I'm planning on spending 71 minutes, so I need to press the enter button to get past that warning screen, and then it's asking me for actual bottom time dive 2. So I can enter in the 71 minutes and press enter, and it tells me that a safety stop would be required after the second dive as well. Useful to know, but not needed to be able to answer this question. So I can press enter to get to the point where it tells me what my minimum surface interval is. So I can now safely assume that 2 hours and 48 minutes is the answer. My website, www.GoProCaribbean, has loads of practice quizzes that you can use to further refine your skills using the RDP. The questions get way harder than this one, and all of them have a backing video similar to this one showing you how to answer the question correctly. Please like this video, please subscribe to me on YouTube, and if you feel like it, link to my website from your blog, and anything else